In a sunny, peaceful forest, a clever fox was walking one morning. His stomach was empty, and he was feeling very hungry. The fox looked around for food, hoping to find something delicious. He passed by tall trees, green bushes, and soft grass. Birds were singing, and squirrels were playing in the branches, but the fox had only one thing on his mind: finding a good meal. After walking for a while, he reached a beautiful vineyard at the edge of the forest. The sunlight reflected on the ripe grapes, making them look shiny and juicy. The grapes hung in big clusters from the high branches of the vines. They were purple, round, and perfect. The fox's eyes lit up immediately. "These grapes will be the best meal I have had in a long time," he thought. The fox tried to reach the grapes by jumping. He jumped once, twice, and even 3 times, but he could not touch them. The grapes were too high. He took a step back and tried running to jump higher, but still he could not reach them. The fox looked around for a stick or a stone to knock the grapes down, but the ground was clear. There was nothing that could help him. The fox sat down for a moment, thinking. "Maybe if I try again carefully, I can reach them," he said to himself. He jumped with all his strength. His paws reached close to the grapes, but one branch moved and the grapes shook in the wind. The fox fell back onto the soft grass. His stomach growled and his tail twitched with frustration. After a few minutes, he tried again. This time, he climbed a small tree near the vines and reached out with his paws. He stretched as far as he could, but it was still too far. The fox sat on the branch, tired and annoyed. He could see the purple grapes hanging above him, beautiful and tempting, but he could not eat them. The fox took a deep breath and looked around. The forest was calm. Birds flew by, and a gentle wind moved the leaves. But the fox's mind was full of anger and disappointment. He could not believe that such delicious grapes were so high and impossible to reach. He jumped one last time, stretching every muscle in his body, but it was useless. The grapes remained untouched. Finally, the fox sat on the soft grass and thought about what to do. "I cannot reach these grapes," he said aloud. Then, after a pause, he spoke to himself again. "I do not want these grapes. They are probably sour anyway. They are not worth eating." The fox turned and walked away from the vineyard, trying to hide his frustration. He wanted to feel better, so he told himself that the grapes were not good. Even though he was still hungry, the fox walked back into the forest, looking for other food. He searched under bushes, near rocks, and along the riverbank, hoping to find something easier to catch or eat. Birds chirped above, and small insects moved in the grass, but the fox remembered the grapes. He told himself again that they were sour and not worth the effort. The lesson of the fox spread through the forest. Other animals watched and learned that sometimes when people or animals cannot get what they want, they might say it is not important or not good. The fox could have continued to try to reach the grapes, but instead he protected his pride by saying they were sour. This story teaches an important lesson. It is easy to criticize or pretend that something is not valuable when we cannot achieve it. Sometimes we do this to feel better about ourselves and to protect our pride, just like the clever fox. From that day on, the fox continued his adventures in the forest, always looking for food and opportunities. He was clever and quick, and he learned to enjoy what he could reach. And although he remembered the grapes, he never stopped being proud of himself for thinking he had made a wise decision by leaving them behind. And so the clever fox wandered through the forest, full of lessons and experiences, teaching generations of animals that sometimes things are not always as they seem, and pride can change the way we think about what we cannot have.